in 50 years at that point. There's been quite a few more women in the last, 10, 12 years to get into the 2 clubs. But at that time, it was still pretty uncommon. But I ran a 300 cubic inch small block in an 82 Camaro and got into the 200 mile an hour club at just under 215 miles an hour. And I got a trophy for that, and I got my name in the book, and that's probably one of the things I'm most proud of in my racing career. And then with the funny car, I've won trophies at a number of events. I have not yet won an NDRL trophy. That's going to be a really tough one. One of the things I'd probably like to do before I retire from racing, but I got one trophy at the race at Milan in July this year. Not Milan, Dragway 42. We did a race there, and I got the trophy that weekend.
Nice. So now, if you could do time traveling, Sue, and go back in time, would you do anything differently with your drag racing career?
I'd started earlier. I'd like to have had a chance to go racing when I was much younger. I was 40-some years old before I ever got in a race car. So I think that's probably the one thing I would do different. As far as what I've been doing racing, no, I've enjoyed the journey.
Well, that's good. Now, if you weren't a drag racer, what do you think you'd be doing with your life?
I suppose if we weren't drag racing, I'd be doing a lot more traveling. I think we'd be going places, state parks, visiting. I have family from the East Coast to the West Coast, and my grandkids are in Connecticut, and my dad's out in Seattle, and I have a sister and brother in California. So I would probably spend a lot of time traveling and seeing the state parks and experiencing, I guess the great outdoors here in this country.
Now, that's a good thing about drag racing. You get to travel around because you guys love traveling, so that kind of helps.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I do. You're right. I enjoy it. And even though it's a lot of work to get everything ready to go in the motorhome for one weekend, I enjoy spending the weekend in the motorhome at the track.
Now, Sue, what would you say is the fondest memory of your drag racing career?
Well, something that's really special to me is we had a chance a couple of years ago. Tom McEwen was at Milan as he was the Grand Marshal or something like that at the race that we were at, and he and Don Perdome were both there, and we got we had Tom McEwen over by the car, got a chance to look at it, got a chance to talk to him about some of his memories, and I think he was pretty tickled to see that, we had one of those bodies that, like he had, and
right.
Got some pictures taken, and he signed, I have his signature on the inside sheet metal of my car in a special place. So I guess that's one, and I guess another fond memory is there was a time where I was involved in motorsports marketing for the company I worked for General Motors, and I was handing out the trophies at the finish line, and I got to give trophies to quite a few well-known drag racers, and Clay Milliken comes up again, Tim Wilkerson, Kurt Johnson, Warren Johnson. I just, being able to see all of them and hand out trophies, Ron Capps, there's probably others I can't come up with right now, but being able to stand on at the finish line and see those guys get out of the car all excited about winning a race is one of some memories that I'll never forget.
Yeah, I can imagine. So now, how important do you think it is for the families to bring, the kids to come out and watch drag racing these days?
Oh, I think it's very important. I think every time we have a family that comes wandering through the pit, we try to, both my husband and I, we take time to talk to the kids. We frequently let the kids climb in and sit in the driver's seat and let them get. They think they can't. Some of them think that they can't get close to the car, and I tell them, get right up on, get right up there. And the little kids, I think they like funny cars. It's almost like they light up when they get to our car because they're you think about a kid that's 2 feet tall. He's walking around with his parents, and what's he seeing? A lot of fenders, a lot of wheels. And all of a sudden, he gets to this funny car, and suddenly he can see the pipes, and he can see all the machine underneath. Gets to see the whole motor and the belts and the hoses, and their eyes light up. And I've seen more than one kid, really perk up when they get around the funny car. But I think it's very important. It's a lot less expensive to take your family, if you're just, spectating, to take your family to a drag race than it is to some of these national events, like football or baseball. And there's so much more you can do. There's so much interaction.
Right.
And for the families that race, the kids that grow up around it, it's in their blood the rest of their life. I think it's kind of like taking your family camping. Only instead of sitting around the campfire and roasting marshmallows, you're listening to a lot of high-powered motors and watching burnouts and getting excited about who's going to win the race.
Yeah, it's good to see a lot of junior directors out there these days.
Oh yeah, that has been such a phenomenally successful program of bringing people into the sport. Really has been successful, and it's so popular. I think it's great.
Yeah, you never one of those kids could be the next John Forrest or Brittany Forrest. You never know.
Absolutely. Well, look at how many of the racers that are actually in the professional ranks right now that started out as junior dragsters.
Yep. So this last question I have for you, Sue, if you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer it. Do you support the President of the United States currently?
Of course.
All right.
I think even if you were not on one side or the other, he was elected by the people, and he deserves the support of the people. And I think that the economy and what's going on in our country right now is all headed in the right direction.
Yeah, I've noticed most of the drag racers do support him.
Well, this country is one of the things that's great about living in the United States of America is that people are entitled to their choices and their opinions. So I think people are on one side or the other based on their own personal lifestyle.
And another great thing about drag racing is you never see no one kneeling during the national anthem.
No, and that is a place where you see a lot of American flags, a lot of support, national anthem, and I think it's, we have the Racers in Christ chaplains walking up and down in the pits and in the staging lanes, and I think there's some good fundamental roots in drag racing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's why, like I said earlier, drag racing is just one big happy family.
Until you're up against, until you're in the lane and getting ready to stage.
Exactly. then at the finish line, you're buddies again.
Yeah. Yep. That quarter mile, all bets are off.
Yeah. Well, Sue, I want to thank you very, very much for taking time to interview me.
All right. Well, thank you, Dave, for giving me the opportunity.
And
maybe we'll see you next summer.
Yeah, hopefully you make it out either Memorial Day weekend or Labor Day weekend, one of those.
We'll see. I will be definitely looking at that.
Now, do you have any final words or thank yous you want to give out to anybody?
No, just I know almost everybody's kind of putting their equipment away for the winter, as we are, and I hope everybody has a safe winter and works hard on their equipment, and we'll see everybody at the racetrack in the spring.
Okay, we'll do another interview in the future and get some updates from you.
Okay.
Okay, you have a great night, Sue.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity, Dave.
You're welcome. We'll do another one in the future.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.